Well, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion, and welcome to day 2 of spoiler season for 3.17 and Siege of the Atlas. Today is a really quiet day. We have one new divination card to spoil, and so we'll discuss that one right in a sec. It's on your screen now, Justified Ambition. But just firstly, if you're interested just in the information without all of the extra discussion, there is also going to be a link down in the description below to the official GGG announcement thread over on their forums. And so Justified Ambition is an interesting one from a lore perspective. This is going to give you one of the synthesis unique maps. Now, the thing that we're not sure on, at least at the moment, I don't know this, there are either 5 or 6 possible maps for this. There are the 4 lesser synthesis maps. So this is Rewritten Distant Memory, Twisted Distant Memory, Augmented Distant Memory, and I think there's one other one as well. These are all typically about 50 chaos late in a league, and these are going to be your bogey prizes. Then there's the 5th one that's definitely in, and that is Cortex. Cortex is going to be the jackpot pool from this. It's always been quite an expensive map ever since it was added as a map. It's an extremely good loot run because of the chance of getting Bottled Faith, which is the best flask in the game. However, the question that hasn't yet been answered is whether or not you can get a replica Cortex from this. So replica Cortex was added in the Heist League, and it's a heist variant on a synthesis map. So whether that's considered a synthesis map or not, we don't really know. Replica Cortex does count as a Cortex for a lot of other purposes, like it counts for purposes of running Maven's Invitation the Feared. And it is just basically Cortex, but a little bit harder, and then because it's a higher monster level, it ends up having slightly better loot. So we don't know whether that can come from Justified Ambition or not. If it does turn out that you can get a replica Cortex from this, and so there are 6 possibilities and they're all equally weighted, then in that case, this is going to sit somewhere near 1/3 of the price of a Cortex. On the flip side, if Justified Ambition can only grant the original 5 synthesis maps, then this is going to sit at a full set of this, not a single card, is going to sit at somewhere a little bit more than 1/5 of the value of a Cortex. So that's going to have to be something that we'll figure out early in the new league. If you do get a replica Cortex from this very early on, what I would suggest you do is go public 24 hours later, but until then, buy every copy of this divination card you can, turn them all in, and sell all of the Cortexes and replica Cortexes to fund getting more of them. Set yourself up for the whole league, and then after you've done that, then go public and let people know that replica Cortex is in the drop pool. Anyway, that's all I got on Justified Ambition. Other than just looking at the lore on this, High Templar Venarius is a really interesting character. He is very much the ends justify all means. That's his mindset, that's very much what he is, and it makes him an extremely compelling villain because he's the hero of his own story. He was the antagonist of the Synthesis expansion, and is probably the most relatable of the villains in Path of Exile. He's unquestionably an evil guy, but he very much has this mindset of, I am the hero and everyone that gets in my way needs to be eliminated. So he's a fantastic character and something I'd like to see more of in Path of Exile. Someone that's not just evil for supernatural evil's sake like Kitava, but someone that is just generally an awful person who has in their mind made completely justified choices. Anyways, tomorrow will be another day of spoilers, and we don't know how much we're going to get tomorrow. But in the interim, I'm intending to start a couple of candidate league starters and just play around with them over on Twitch. So if you're interested in following that, then there'll be some information down in the description of this video below. May your Varlobs have interesting results.